You and I, we never show emotions, we just keep it down, down inside. Yeah, you and I, both longing for expression for the things we like, but we stay quiet. Hold me now, tell me things, tell me all about how you feel. Just let yourself go. Say it loud, wake the world on the other side, make it real. Just let yourself go, just let go. Ooh, just let go. Oh yeah, just let go. Ooh, just let go. Just let yourself go. Let yourself be and you. We're holding back each other in the things we do. It's all so blue. Yeah, what if we could grow just like the flowers through the concrete? Just you and me. Hold me now, tell me things, tell me all about how you feel. Just let yourself go. Say it loud, wake the world on the other side, make it real. Just let yourself go, just let go. Ooh, just let go. Oh yeah, just let go. Ooh, just let go. Just let yourself go. Let yourself be and you. We're holding back each other in the things we do. It's all so blue. Yeah, what if we could grow just like the flowers through the concrete? Just you and me. Just let go. Ooh, just let go. Oh yeah, just let go. Ooh, just let go. Just let yourself go. Let yourself go.
Hello everybody, can you all hear me? I hope so. Welcome to livestream number 2 from AstroAddict, from me. I already can see that there are quite a lot of people in the chat right now. How many are we? 33. You can hear me great. Alright, today's plan was to go over the hard nebula data, because I had some questions about how I edited this image. Hello everybody again. So many hellos in the chat, always nice. The plan was to go over the hard nebula data, but just like in the last stream, maybe I will only answer questions, but I'm fine with that as well. Hello from Germany, from over here. It's cloudy right now. Where are you all from? I really love to hear it every time. Right, let me get this one back here. Just silently. Cloud in the UK. California. Let's just show that message. UK, Suffolk, hello. Canada, Portugal. From quarantine in Qatar. I'm in quarantine as well. And it's really nothing different to what I usually do, sitting in here. Austria, California, Chicago, Russia, hello. Awesome. I've done a bit of fine-tuning to the stream. I hope the quality will be better. You've really had COVID. I hope you get better soon. I'm gonna post this live stream. As usual, it should be on the YouTube page after I finish this stream in the live category. Where are you from? I'm from Germany, close to Frankfurt. Being in the office once since March. Well, some of us like it, some of us don't. Well, if you're stuck in a hotel room, that's of course not a good thing. Maryland, hello. Alright, let's maybe just answer a few questions. So if you have any questions regarding astrophotography, astronomy, telescopes, anything that I can relate to in that matter, ask them now. I've got a slight buffering here, might be my internet. I don't have any buffering, it's probably something on your end. "41 people, always. Star Adventure, worth it? I think so. I've had the question of which Astro tracker to get before, and I can always state maybe 4 trackers that I like. The first one, the most entry-level one behind me, it's a manual star tracker without batteries, just a mechanical star tracker. Behind me is the Omegon Mini Track LX2, and that's a good entry level, but if you want to upgrade soon, get a bigger camera, a bigger lens, this one cannot hold that much weight. And the other ones would be the Skywatcher Star Adventurer, they have version 2 now, and the iOptron Sky Guider or Sky Tracker. The Star Adventurer Mini, there's a mini version, I didn't know about that yet. Alright, let me catch up from the questions from the beginning. I will just scroll a little bit up. If anyone knows how to help Luca the King with his 50 GB of DSS storage, please help. I'm not using DSS anymore. Do you shoot from your backyard or balcony? From the backyard. Sony or Canon? For deep sky imaging, if you have a telescope, I recommend Canon because most of the software is made for Canon. If you want to go out and travel, Sony can also be quite nice. If you use Sony, I recommend maybe looking at the channel from Alan Wallace. He's using the AS7i, I believe, which I've seen images from is amazing in deep sky and in wide field as well. Alright, the Sky Adventurer Mini. How accurate is the tracking? Let's hope that my new Windows setup here works. Why is the bar showing? Hang on, just problem solving real quick. Alright. Well, it's in German right now, but I guess that doesn't matter. Alright. Now the music went away, damn it. Where was the question? The Star Adventurer Mini. Great. Star Adventurer to Wi-Fi and mini Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi version is always nice, but I don't think it's necessary. You are next to it at any time. Maximum additional payload 3 kilograms. That's not that much. I don't have it. I don't own it. I did not use it ever before. No, I didn't see it. I could only guess that it's doing that 200 plus should be okay, maximum of 300 millimeters, but maybe look at some more reviews about that. I highly recommend that. I don't use it. The chat is jumping right now, hang on. Any experience with Fuji cameras for astrophotography? Nope, I'm sorry. Do you think that DSS, Photoshop and Lightroom should be enough? Yes, absolutely. DSS and Photoshop, Lightroom, I only use Lightroom for my time-lapse images. DSS and Photoshop are enough. I guess all of you know Astro Backyard, and he's doing all of his amazing images with DSS and Photoshop. If you master Photoshop, there's no limit to what you can do. Do you use any remote telescope services? Well, I've only done a video once about them, but it was up to now it was a one-time thing. It was very interesting, but I really like doing things in my own backyard. Will you try to get a photo of Comet Atlas? No, because this one is in Orion right now. I have no option to shoot Orion from the backyard down there. But the music is back. I have no choice to shoot Orion from this backyard. And if I go out to another backyard, which I have the option to my grandmother, I will shoot Orion if it's clear, and not the Comet in Orion right now. I've shot a Comet once before. I don't have proper equipment to do that. I know it's a pretty looking green fireball, but not yet. Just got into astrophotography and been shooting things like Andromeda, Orion. I'm wondering what would be the next step equipment-wise. Well, the next step equipment-wise would be a tracker. A tracker which you can put on your tripod, or which comes with a tripod. Maybe look for the Skywatcher Star Adventurer, and then you can take longer exposures. Maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes. Hi mate, gain and offset recommendations for starting out. Well, gain and offset, you're talking about a dedicated camera? If so, starting out really with a dedicated one? Thanks for the guides on APP. No problem, I love APP. I'm missing sharpness in my pictures. I'm using a DSLR with a medium good guiding, so smaller pixels. Well, with the DSLR, the pixels of a DSLR are very small. And the smaller the pixels, the fuzzier your image is. So I guess go maybe a bit more wide field. Or sharpen them up in post-processing, that would be the better option. Is Affinity Photo good? I have not used it. I think either Razine from Astrophotography or AstroStays made videos about that. Maybe go check them out. AstroCanuck, hello, now you're on one of my streams. Alright, now to your question. Do you have any equipment from your original setup that you still use frequently? The original setup? Well, that would be the HEQ5, of course, and I still have the first refractor I got, and I use it if I want to go more deep into... What's up with me today? If I want to shoot smaller targets. Do I really need to invest in autofocus versus manually? I don't think so. I always like to be at the scope when I'm doing anything, either slewing. I could of course use Team Viewer from up here and slew the telescope, make a meridian flip, but I always want to be down there. And if I'm down there, I can focus manually. The autofocuser would be if you really want to do everything from inside, but then you have to get your cable management and many other things ready to not fail. Alright, where was the last question? I don't like the remote telescope services because it lacks the feeling you get from being outside with your own gear. Of course it does. The feeling being outside there with your gear is amazing. But if you have cloudy skies for many months even, there are some places I've heard, UK, which have many clouds. I don't know where, but sometimes sometimes you can use them and do something astro related. I didn't understand very well. Why do we need a 3-star alignment in plate solving process? We don't. The plate solving is basically a star alignment. It tells the scope where it's pointing at. Do not do a star alignment, start the plate solving software, solve the first image, and then go on from there. Well, he has given me many shoutouts, so Astrocanuck, if you want to shoot a link in here real quick from your Twitch channel. I've been on his one, he's doing live astrophotography in his backyard, so maybe go check that out. First beginner April refractor for deep sky objects. I have gotten this question many times and the TS optics telescopes are nice. Just a second. I need to drink a lot of water today. I'm in quarantine. I don't think I'm sick, but I have some other issues, so I suppose. Alright. We are still on this side. And now you can see all my tags. Yeah, why not? So here are the... Why is this page in German again? Come on. So, good starter out telescopes. Can you see that? Yes. Maybe move that one over there. These telescopes, I believe, are pretty good to start out. Maybe go to the APO section, not the ED ones. I've seen many really great images with TS telescopes, and if I get the next big refractor, I will go over there. I'm not sponsored, just the products are pretty good. Alright, manual focus, yes, and let's go back to this one. Let's maybe zoom up. TS optics telescopes. I'm starting out with a red cat, that's awesome. Do you think I will get the most out of it? Well, the most, get a tracker and get exposures of 3 minutes and your images will be good. Maybe you get a filter in there with a camera. Do you use Nina? Nope. Should I do that with a StartVenture Pro? If so, how do I do it manually? I don't have the StartVenture, I don't know, I'm sorry. I know that at least the I opened Skyguider can do that, but maybe ask around somewhere else, I don't know. EQ mod cable changed my life for the better? Yes. Alright. Many of you wanted to know how I edited this hard nebula, so I will open PixInsight right here and just load this image real quick. I hope I will find it again. On the external hard drive. I've already shot this hard drive to the maximum, almost. 8 terabytes. Deep Sky, 2020, Hard Nebula, previous edits. Alright. PixInsight, does this work? Yes, it does. Let's put the image over here. This looks nice, doesn't it? How many people are here now? Right, now you can see everything in the stream. Great. 45. Awesome. The maximum exposure without guiding with 658 millimeters. 30 seconds? I'd say just try it out. But 400mm APS-C is very strong. Well, without guiding. If you're using a tracker like this one, you almost nothing. If you're using the Skywatcher EQ8, I believe this monster, you can go on without guiding forever. Without auto guiding and tracking. Well, without tracking, what now? With tracking and without auto guiding. 600 millimeters, not that much, I'm afraid. Maximum of 1 minute, maybe even less. I guess. Try it out. Should I get a triplet or doublet? A good quality doublet is better than a cheap triplet. Well, it's just, you can get a doublet, you can get good images with it, but you also have to fight with chromatic aberration. And a triplet will be even better, a quad will be almost the best. It's always on what you want to expect quality-wise from the final image. But a good quality doublet is good for starting out. Alright, the Hard Nebula. This is a stack straight out of APP. And the things that I've done with that... Do I spoil anything here? Maybe not. This is the video I already did. Where are the images? This music sucks. Hang on. Let's go back to the... I don't even know if you want music. Maybe you haven't heard it because it's really quiet. I think it's clocking in at minus 45 decibels. I think it's quite quiet. Northern targets for unmodded DSLR at the moment. I'm showing everything right now. Northern targets for unmodded DSLR. We all love Stellarium for something like that. In the meantime, look at this. Is this one? Yeah. This is the raw image of the Hard Nebula. It's not calibrated yet. You can see hot pixels, maybe somewhere there's one. It's not that strong, it's not debayered yet, there's no color, but it's still amazing that these results can be achieved just by stacking. Well, for northern targets, so I will guess northern means maybe around here. Well, all of this is the same anyways. I'm sorry that the entirety of Stellarium is German. Well, the target's moving up right now in the east right here. The Pleiades, of course, good right now. Unmodded, I don't recommend the Pelican California Nebula. And after the Pleiades, you could also go for maybe the double cluster, the double cluster close to Cassiopeia. They always, even double clusters turn out really nice in astro images. Just keep the exposures low. You want the star colors. Triangulum could be quite washed out with an unmodded DSLR. Not much color in there. What's that one? I always enjoy looking around in looking around in Stellarium and seeing something new every day. Well, it's not that much right now. Unmodded targets in the northern hemisphere. Well, Orion is rising. You can shoot that unmodded, no problem. It's that bright. And now you can't see anything. What the hell? Alright. Do you have a recommendation for filter for dedicated one-shot camera and a small refractor from bottle 6? To help with the light pollution, Optolong L Pro or the Astronomik CLS CCD. The L Pro is not that strong. You will get more color from stars and nebulae, but also more light pollution. And the CLS CCD, you will get less color from objects, but the light pollution will be way more under control. The carbon fiber or aluminum telescope. The carbon fiber, in my opinion, is just to show off. Probably. I've heard it's not contracting that much in the cold, but investing $1,000 more just not to go out refocusing once in the night, I don't think that's worth it. Alright, here we are. So this is the image straight out of APP. I've done the... Maybe just load this image as well to show you. So this one is basically the first image that came out of APP. I just cropped the edges. So here you can see this was shot with a dual narrowband filter, so you have no light pollution in there, just a slight background. And with the light pollution correction I even got that out of the way. What do I need to get good deep sky pictures? Well, here 150, 70, 50. Well, listing everything right now would I think extend the time frame of the stream. And of course, what are good deep sky images? Is this a good deep sky image? I've never been satisfied with any of my images, to be honest. Skywatcher EQ5, is that a go-to version? Because to make everything easy, a go-to mount would be the minimum, I'd say. And any type of telescope, really. You can shoot astro imaging, you can do astrophotography with any type of telescope. Alright, and after the... I guess I'm not getting to anything editing-wise with the Hard Nebula today. There are a lot of questions, as always, and I like it. Don't worry. What are the best lenses for APO telescopes? I think you got something wrong there. Telescope or lens, decide. Alright, the first thing that I do with an image like this, you can see the background noise is very much under control, but let's control it even more. Where is it? The linear noise reduction? I called it LNR, but it's called multiscale linear transform. Let's set it appropriately and get a few of the, how are they called again? Wavelets in there. Just a tiny bit over here. So now I'm doing a noise reduction on the linear image. Remember, this image looks like this. We can preview it stretched. And the linear noise reduction works only over here in the linear image. Maybe he means eyepiece instead of lens. I don't know. Tell me. Alright. These 1, 2, 4 and R layers I have selected are wavelet layers. They are basically, well, I can show you. That's always awesome. Render, is it in render? Analysis. Alright, here we have wavelet layers of my image. A wavelet layer is basically the structures of the image broken down into each size. So in the first layer we'll have the smallest type of structure. You can see noise is in there and small stars are in there. And that is why the first level of noise reduction will affect the smaller stars. Second layer has bigger structures in there. You can see maybe some nebulosity over here. Is PixInsight worth the money? Yes. And as I go up in the wavelet layers, the structures are getting bigger and bigger. And in the final, the R, the residual layer, is most of the actual image. So this part and the layers down here will not be affected by these settings. Just a tiny bit, amount 0.05. I mean best lenses for an apo-refractor for an outstanding quality image. Again, do you mean an eyepiece? Because lenses for an apo-refractor, the apo-refractor is your lens. How can you minimize the number of stars and bring out your image? That's a perfect question for today. The glass type. Wow. I'm sorry, I did not read that out of this text. The best glass type, FPL53. I will type it in the chat real quick so we can check. This glass type. I think it has an... I'm sorry. How long did you expose? I'm sorry, I'm not reading it in German. This audience is mostly English. These are, I think, 8 hours in a single night. Awesome. So this glass type FPL53 has the lowest dispersion I've ever seen in any glass. And it has an ABI, it is the ABI number, I think, of 53. Incredibly high, which means low distortion. But FPL53 has its price. The telescope I shot this image with did not have FPL53. The glass in the Techno-Sky refractor is synthetic lanthanum glass. I don't even know if I pronounced that correctly, I've never heard of it, but the quality, look at these stars. Great. Alright, the question. Shouldn't we use a mask to isolate background from noise reduction? We could use a mask, but I'm only affecting the small features of the image anyways. So that's why I don't use a mask for at least the linear noise reduction. So let's see. I think the stars blowed it out a bit too much in my opinion, but if I zoom out all the way, it's no difference at all. But the small things are important. Not reduce this one. I like this, and again, go over it with some color noise reduction. In the small features, not in the big nebula. Let's look at the fish head, because it has most of the detail. The noise of the detail got better, but the detail was not affected at all. I can see the structures here as they are before and after. What are your thoughts about the 6180pH2? Hello Hussein, how are you? I'm fine. And how are you? The 6180pH2, I have no idea what type of telescope that is. I'm sorry, let me check. What am I even doing here with this one? Wait. It's a TS Optics. The TS Optics is this the small one? Maybe it's the all right. Well, EDPH. Do you mean this brand or maybe something else? Have you tried out Nina for your sessions? Nope. Will you consider yourself a pixel peeper? Do you mean the device that checks the pixels? I have never heard of that before. And small imperfections, that's what the dark frames and flat frames are for. It's a small apo refractor. Small apo refractors are one of my favorites. Easy to use and great wide field images with dedicated cameras and DSLRs. You're still selling the EQ6R Pro, I remember. And no, I don't have the money for that. I would love to have an EQ6R Pro, but later. TS have rebranded it. Every third-party reseller rebrands telescopes. I guess many people don't like it, but that's the way how it is. And I've looked at this one before, and these sites are always in German, I'm sorry. And this one will get great images, don't worry. These are good products. You may need the reducer flattener, probably. Alright, so this was actually the first part in the linear processing. Now we will stretch the image. And with a nebula or galaxies, I usually do it in two ways, either the masked stretch or the just screen transfer function, so just having it like this. Alright, redo the noise reduction, blah blah blah. And stretching done. Was this too quick? I hope not. That's the usual way I stretch most images because it's quite great. But if I want to preserve some star colors, I do it differently. Process, masked, stretch over here. I leave the target background as it is and maybe stretch afterwards with the curves. And I hope this does not break my PC or the stream if I run this now. Everything looks fine. I will maybe do a 2-hour stream today. Longer? No way. But I don't think I'm doing it shorter. Is PixInsight easier than Photoshop? I don't think so. If you have no idea about Photoshop, maybe just skip it entirely and get yourself some tutorials or even the book on PixInsight. And I don't like this. Let's go back to this one. PixInsight is all about astrophotography and Photoshop is not. You can almost reach the same result with both, but if you have the routine down in PixInsight, it's easier and faster than in Photoshop, in my opinion. And you can analyze your images in many more ways that Photoshop can never do. Have you ever used GIMP? Nope. Hello from Wiesbaden. Hello. Alright. Now the image is now more linear. I will do a slight darkening of the background with the curves. And there was the question with star reduction. So let's go over that right now, because the star reduction is usually at the end of the process. But I've tried to sneak in a slight star reduction in equivalent steps in the entire processing. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I try out different processes over time. Star reduction tool. Well, the question about star reduction was earlier. I don't know if you use PixInsight. There are some Photoshop tutorials, but I can show you something, at least something, the basics in PixInsight. And it's done. Well, the stars are gone, right? Star reduction complete. I'm just kidding. Alright. Set to 5, get a small star shape in there. And now we want a star mask. The background noise value is at... I'm looking down at the values right now. 1.182, maybe go to 2.2. Get a star mask. What software do you use for your sessions, and what's the main points about the software that you like? There are questions today. I could write essays about them. I use APT because it's quite the beginner software and easy to use. And PhD to guiding for guiding. And just as I said, you can do everything with them. Maybe a bit more complicated and not as easy as maybe in Sequence Generator Pro. But hey, as long as I can do most of the things with the software I have, I will invest the extra work without paying more. Skywatcher Equinox 66 ED for 270 euros. Skywatcher Equinox 66 ED. Nah, for astrophotography I don't think so. What's this class anyways? FPL 51 and 53, alright. But I guess there's a good reason why they are not in stock anymore. The glass can be as good as they want, but there's no guide on there. No guide, no adapter. No finder scope adapter. This focuser doesn't look as... It's a Crayford? Is it a Crayford? Maybe spare some more money, at least. Not this one at least, but I don't think this is a good deal. What do you think about smartphone astrophotography? I'm still doubtful. And if you get a smartphone behind a telescope, the entire point of astrophotography is completely ruined, really. It's like putting the DSLR on the back of the telescope and then take a picture of the DSLR while it's imaging. It doesn't make sense to me. Which border class are you in? 5 to 6? The TSA pose are always a good choice. Or the Orion carbon fiber, what do you think? You can scratch the carbon fiber. The original ED80 T would be more cheaper with the same quality. It's just carbon fiber is just luxury in my opinion. But really, maybe compare reviews of the two telescopes. I didn't use them, so I can't tell you which I like more. Alright, you have a DSLR for astrophotography, not just the smartphone. I have put the smartphone out there in the middle of the night because I saw Orion and the image looked okay, but nothing that I would share. Try and shoot the American Nebula tonight. Good luck. So here we can see our star mask. This one. No. This one. And back to the star reduction. With the star mask applied now, we can go for the morphological transformation tool, choose erosion, and put it on there just once. and the stars will get smaller. Don't do it too much, you can break your image otherwise, but this is already a gigantic improvement in star reduction. How do you make the clouds go away? I don't. And now I will do another step I have recently learned, which is a better step for star reduction. So put these over here, delete all of these ones, I don't need them anymore. And try to read the chat at the same time. Have you done a wide field with the DSLR of the Barnard's loop? Nope. But maybe you've seen it in my browser window. There's a new lens coming, and maybe I will do it. Best DSLR in your opinion? That's an interesting question, because best DSLR for astrophotography, Canon XD Mark I, $7,000. It is the best one for everything, But I guess you mean something more to the ground. The Canon EOS RP, RA, mirrorless. If you're out traveling, yes. If you have a backyard and your telescope, no. There's no reason to do that. Get a cheap one. Maybe a T6i, which I have, or maybe even the older versions, T4i? I think the 450D. And yeah, you can achieve the same results, just with a bit more work, so why spend all of this extra money? Thoughts on Serial as PixInsight alternative? I haven't used Serial before. I think the developers approached me, I could be, it was a long time ago, but, well, I have not looked into it yet. I'm sorry. Do you like diffraction spikes or not? I like them, just not maybe in the center of the Pleiades, because then you have maybe an image of something and spikes this long. What do you think about the RA? I can't afford it. You can get cheaper DSLRs and get good images. You don't need an RA for great images. You have to pay over $150 more to buy tool plugins for Photoshop. Well, the action set was, I think, about $50, maybe even less. And the Gradient Exterminator, which was quite expensive. These two I really recommend if you want to use Photoshop. So what do people recommend? I have an ASI 183. That I can use an EF lens. Or should I get the... Well, if you have the ASI, a cheap lens is quite underkill, the opposite of overkill. Well, if you have a camera that good, that can cool down to... Well, you did not mention that's the Pro version. With a camera like that, maybe go for a telescope. Just curious what you think about the RA. I don't have it. It looks, for traveling, it might be it might be a very good camera, but I do not use it. Also thinking of a ZWO color cooled. These cameras are awesome, always. I have the 294 MC Pro. Have you used the nifty 50mm 1.8? Well, I have not used the 1.8, but the thing that should arrive in mail tomorrow is the 50mm 1.4. Good evening, hello Princess Luna, welcome back. I remember you from the last stream. Do you think that the one can get a good set without auto-guiding for under 2k? Without auto-guiding, you can get it for under 1k. And yes, even with auto-guide, you can stay under 2k, no worries. Alright, I was about to perform some star reduction with a more advanced method. The first thing I will do, I will remove the mask, clone the image, and the first was HDR transform with 4 layers, slap it on there. This is done to even out all the stars in brightness in the image, and from this image we can now take a star mask, same noise values, bump all of this down, this up, choose smoothness of 10 and the contours, very important over here, and let's seek the mask. Got to go have class. We'll see you next time. This does not look right, but you can see the contours of this mask. And you already get what it's doing, probably. Did I do anything wrong here? This mask doesn't look like the one I used before. Slap it on there, get the tool back. And now we choose morphological selection. Turn these values down a bit. And try the star reduction again. It's not that big of a deal of star reduction, but you can do it multiple times. You can see the stars are shrinking, and you won't get weird artifacts like diamond-shaped stars. So this is a great technique as well. And another technique, delete the mask. I don't need that many windows right now. One thing that I have learned recently, which is an awesome tool, and I was finally able to use it in here, etc. StarNet. Finally, clone the image, and now PixInsight, and I hopefully not the stream will freeze for the next 2 minutes. Fingers crossed. Everything's still running. Yes, only PixInsight is freezing, so maybe get a telescope back up here. How many people are here? 41. What is the best scope you have seen IRL? Well, what am I for a person to promote my own videos? Well, I hear videos just real quick. I will have to go way back in my video feed history for that one. The 1000 subscriber special. Where is it? Well, the best telescope I have seen in real life. Was it in the intro? Ah, this song again. Is everything still running even with showing this? The most expensive! Come on, I like this video anyways. I forgot where I showed this gigantic telescope. I looked terrible back then. Where the hell was this? Why can't I find this in here? Well, Topsonian. A small peek from my friend Lucas back there. But this is, I think, many more meters telescope. I did not get a chance to look through it, but this was awesome. Are you German? What the hell did you think that I am German? How the hell could you even remotely think that I am from Germany? Really? I hate this accent. What's the best scope you have seen in real life? The most expensive scope you have seen in real life. The local, it is in my local observatory, it's a Meade reflector on an alt-ass mount. I have looked through it on the Orion Nebula, this was awesome. But I can't remember which model it is, I can't look for the price. Favorite accent, what do you mean, AstroCanuck? And no, the German accent is not my favorite accent. I try to hide it every time because I hate it. If a German person speaks with that accent, they only reveal that they know nothing about the outside world. Who's your favorite Astro YouTuber? If I now call out any name, the other ones will be disappointed in me. I'm new here, what do you do on this channel? This channel is all about astrophotography. Taking pictures of deep space and the whole process behind it. Right here you can see in the back an unfinished image that I've taken recently with a dedicated setup, a telescope, a tracking mount and a camera made for this hobby. So everything around this channel is astrophotography. So if you are into anything like that, stay here and subscribe. And you can ask all questions around this to me. How much time does it take for your post-processing? If I really want to get the image to the way I like, 4 hours, 5 hours. Love, you have to go, stay safe. Goodbye, Botgan. And I'm sorry if I butcher any names. I don't know the area you're coming out of. Maybe I could pronounce Spanish names, but that's about it. Do you have a favorite place in Germany for stargazing? I have been at 2. I want to visit one more. But it's either the Black Forest, Schwarzwald, or down up there close to Fulda, where the last ITV, the video that I just showed, the International Star something, took place. What would your recommendations for refractors in the 100mm range? You mean 100mm across? I'm too tired right now to think about the red name. Aperture? Aperture-wise. Go to TS Optics and get a triplet with 100mm aperture. It will be 102, 714mm focal length, and you will be happy. Do you know anything about video astronomy? Nope. Live stream your telescope. I could only live stream my laptop on the telescope. Do you StarNet? I think I do. I don't want to be mean, I'm sorry. So here is the StarNetted image. I will now open Pixel Math. Single RGBK, yes, that's no problem. I should rename these first. Clone this one minus clone and create a new RGB image. Look at this nebula. Awesome. That's what Standard is amazing for. Can't decide if I need a new camera or just get better at post. Do both. In which state do you live? I live close to Frankfurt. I will not get any more into that. Is a 75mm to 300mm good lens for astrophotography? Zoom lenses for astro imaging are not my favorite. Go for a prime lens, you will have a sharper image, and the vignetting will be much weaker and you can use flat frames for that. Zoom lenses are not good for astro imaging. You want to get these sharp stars, and zoom lenses are for daytime. Is Standard just for PixInsight or is it standalone plugin? It is standalone and you can use it on your desktop and for PixInsight and Photoshop. I download the version for PixInsight and install it just by dragging it into the red folder. Now let's maybe work on this nebula. I have darkened the background. I will get rid of green in the background. I will get myself a mask. How much is too much to edit? And to edit more to get to your final look image. That's up to you. If you think you like this image will be great to you. See A-Pod from 16th November. If anything is about A-Pod, I will go. A-Pod. Today's A-Pod is the double star cluster. Well, yesterday, 17th. Real? This one is from the 17th? I saw it on Twitter. It looks nice with the aurora. I know you can't see it, don't worry. How wide was this? Or is it a composite? Wait, a comet? Is this... I haven't even noticed Neowise in there. That's amazing. Wow. That's an A-Pod, really. That's amazing. I haven't even noticed Neowise in there. Do you like Rammstein? They're not my type. Sometimes I hear some of their music, but I hear metal. I love metal. I love power metal. I can't play it in here because of copyright, but well, I would love to, but I can't. Well, I wanted to create a mask, and that's the one feature with PixInsight that Photoshop doesn't have. The creation of masks this easy. I want to create a mask like this because I want to pull up some blues. And not your typical Monday morning blues, but the blue color. I think I did it like this. That's where I start getting at least some blue in your image. And that is in my opinion too much of an edit. This is just a very quick run through this image. Do you have a mono camera? No, I don't. But I'm really looking, I have everything equipment wise I need to get many great images. The next setup, the next step would be to get mono and filters. But that is a price point, good filters and good mono camera, $3,000. Can standard reduce your stars? Nope, it can't. It will make the perfect mask for you to reduce them. Yeah, chroma filters are expensive, you don't say. Yes. Hello from the Black Forest, 8-inch Newton? Newton, alright. Does a warming sleeve make sense? Warming sleeve? I have never heard of... You mean to get rid of dew? I have seen them before for Newtons, but getting a really big dew shield, which are available for Newtons, should resolve this issue without heating. Is image processing difficult? Well, depends on who you ask. I don't think that it's difficult. I have the routine down and I know what to do if I run into some errors, but I can't solve everything. But to a beginner, maybe this will look from another world. I will darken this again and use this mask again to get some more contrast in there. Have you seen the easy suite of tools for PixInsight? It has a script, star reduction from millimeter. Lazy people like me. That sounds great. I will take a look at that. And my chair is squeaking. Well, this contrast enhancement looks good. And now I will recombine this image. You modded your EOS 200D yourself. Awesome. That's a great bit of mechanical engineering you displayed there. Let me recombine this image first with pixel math. I think I can now I hope this works. Well, no, of course it won't, because let me go over this again. This one plus, and here's the point where I can start reducing these stars as well. And since this is the perfect mask of a morphological selection, get the iterations up. And now recombine them. Image 14 plus CBG clone. Before and after, look at this. I see my faces in there, hang on. Alright. This is not the final, the image to the right will not be my final work on this image, but just a few steps. I could have done that in, I think, 10 minutes, and the improvement is awesome. Let me get this back. Hello. Editing can be easy if you know what to do, and if you know what style you like. This is... I would love to edit this more. I will get the blues in the darker areas up. This has a slight greenish tint, also because of the filter. This one is a bit more in my within my taste, and darker definitely. Contrast, detail, S-curve, yes. Well, not that much maybe. That's more like it. Hang on. The easy processing suite is great. It can automatically do TGV, MMT, decon, deconvolution, star reduction, and more. I will look into that. What's your opinion on the SCTs, astrographs, RASAs? RASA is one of the... I just had to think on some... Can I say that in this stream? I just had to think about one of the merchandise products from Dylan O'Donnell, and he sells the RASA shirt with NASA logo on it. Just exchange the N for the R, and the description of this tee was so good. Hang on. This is again talking about the RASA telescopes. I have to take a look at this one. The description alone from the RASA shirt from Dylan. Are you shooting space at f2 and feel the need to let everyone know how much better you are than them? Do it in style with this satirical play. Do it in style with this satirical play on the classic space agency worm logo. Because everything is meaningless and we're all going to die. Dylan, classic Dylan. But at least you're shooting at f2. I really had to think about this right now, I'm sorry. I cracked up a lot, I think, when I read this for the first time. The RASA is an awesome telescope for astroimaging. You have to think outside the box to use it. Your camera is up front. You have to have a mount that has a Los Mandy style plate. That's why I can't use it. But the RASA, an astrograph in general, yes, it can create amazing images, but so can smaller telescopes. Are anyone using Serial and PixInsight? There are a lot of similar processes. So anyone, please answer, Edwin. Secret to staying awake all night and not having sleep deprivation. Hang on. Well, no, not yet. I could have now moved my webcam, but there's a gigantic pile of some sort of drinks, which you will stay awake. I'm not drinking energy drinks, but some other things. Can you zoom into some stars? I know what you mean, the artifacts around the stars. Let me just load the final image. Let me just load the image I published from the Hard Nebula, which has these artifacts you are referring to, I believe. So this is the overprocessed version. This is overprocessed badly. And this is, I think, what you mean with the noise around stars. You can't go and edit in these separate images, nebula and stars, for a long time. Do 1 or 2, maybe 3 processing steps, which are not that great. Great in the meaning of big. But you can't do much more. Reducing the stars, look at this one, right here. This star noise is from too much processing. I didn't post this version, this is run 2. I wanted to try again, but I failed. Yes, look over here. I even had to add this star with the clone stamp tool. My PC specs. The graphics card doesn't matter. Everything in Astro Imaging is dependent on the processor, which is an AMD Ryzen 9, 24 threads. I love it. Do you think the Celestron Edge HD 8 can replace refractors? No, I don't. Well, an Edge HD 8-inch has such bigger focal length. What am I going to do with that on the Hard Nebula? I want to have the entire Hard Nebula in there. I can of course go close to Melot 15 and think that's an amazing thing. Yes, use this one with the Edge HD, but this one, no chance. Do I want to process this more? Hang on, I want to try one thing. What will happen if I use... I'm thinking if StarNet is a destructive or constructive process. If I now use StarNet again on this one, it should draw the stars differently. Maybe we can reduce the noise in this way. StarNet can use the GPU cores to faster star masks. Well, I don't think that this is fast, but comparing to the mask that it's putting out, which is great, why not? And PixInsight 3, I can't do anything in PixInsight now while this is running. Which is the same as in every other tool in PixInsight, just remember. Luca the King, own Hubble or go to space Mars. What? What? No, 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 not this one. Please tell me if the music is too loud. Can you recommend some easy devices for beginners for image processing? With devices, do you mean hardware like a PC? Or do you mean software? Would you go to space or be able to own Hubble? I would own Hubble. Hell yeah. Well, in space you can't see any stars anyways. Too loud? Well, hang on, I will turn it up just a tiny bit and turn it down in Spotify, so I can hear myself anyways. And I'm more of a fan of the rock playlist anyways. Who is your favorite Astro YouTuber? And if I say that now, all the others will be disappointed in me. Can you show a simple way to remove pollution gradients from pictures? Except Gradient Exterminator. Yes, use APP, that's all I can say. In Photoshop without Gradient Exterminator, no way, I don't know, I can't tell you, I'm sorry. In PixInsight, yes, use the dynamic background extraction. There are many tutorials on that one, and even I have one on this. And APP definitely has the most advanced system regarding light pollution and gradient removal. Hi AstroAddict, I'm shooting when looking at your stream right now. California, good luck. Maybe tag me if you are done in social media. I want to see it. Right, I wanted to tell you about light pollution removal in APP. No, not over here. Yes, over here. Here you can see Andromeda Galaxy with the L-Pro filter, and the light pollution gradient in this image is awful. It's going from yellowish in the bottom right to purple and blue in the middle, and then back to green and brown on the left. Awful. A time-lapse of Orion rising right now. Amazing. Fairly new to AP. Welcome this amazing hobby. Is there a reflector versus refractor following like Canon versus Nikon? Not as strong as in Canon versus Nikon, but there definitely is. And both sides are right and wrong. I can't talk anymore. Is APP for free? No, it's not. Marina, hello, welcome. Hello to the Canarias from Germany. La Palma, I believe it was. Hello. What's your best deep sky object? I guess you mean my best image I've taken. This one. Well, the edited version of this one. And we were talking about the light pollution gradients. Well, who asked this question? Tamanduta. I'm sorry if I pronounced the names wrong. A simple way to remove pollution. Not in Photoshop, PixInsight yes, but the best way, APP, this software will improve your images in many ways. Remove light pollution, yes. Come on, I always misclick. This song rocks, literally. Who is texting me? Someone's texting me. The hell? No one is texting me. I'm all out and alone in my room under quarantine. Great. An easy way to remove light pollution gradients from your image. Well, is this easy? Yes, it is. I love APP. And now take a look at this. Andromeda Galaxy. It can't be any easier removing light pollution gradients than with APP. And you can fine-tune this even more. I would not use this one because these color blotches are still there. I would fine-tune this. Take a look at the tutorial I made about APP in this case. But the software is amazing. As AstroStace put it, this tool is black magic. Did you try to capture the Pismis 24-1 of the Helix? What the hell is the first one you're talking about? Well, this song is rocking a bit too much right now. That's looking like a great nebula. I didn't see an image of that yet. It looks great. No, I did not try, and I don't have the skies for the Helix Nebula. Catching up with the chat. Are you a metal fan? I didn't know. Yes, I am. Glory Hammer. The best band in the entire world. What's up? Hello Astro Caron. Hello from Madrid. Hello. A question about Andromeda. Isn't there a blue outer circle? Yes, there is. And there's also a blue outer circle of light pollution everywhere where I live. If you want to get these amazing images, like the best Andromeda image I've seen is from Trevor from Astro Backyard, and he went out there under a bottle 1 to image it. You don't have any other choice. If you want to get the best Andromeda image, go under bottle 1. No other choice. How do you know how big you can I'm sorry. How do you know how big you can print an image? I print my images in the local grocery store about this big. Why rock music? Because electronic music is mostly awful, and the relaxing playlist of Epidemic is sleepy as hell. Well, not all electronic music is bad, but most of the stuff trending on YouTube. Well, yes, but this song is a bit too overkill. Alright, and with this image, with removed gradients like this one, we could move on and create an image like this one. I even have a folder only for Andromeda Galaxy now. Which version do you like more? Over-edited or well-edited? Well, here's the star mask again. Let's take a look at this one. There's nothing wrong with metal. Let me get a small quote in here. Metal is for everyone. And now you know another band I listen to. What do you do during your outdoor imaging session? I'm in here playing video games. Metallica family here? Sadly no, but have fun with that. Aren't metalheads all suicidal? Is Dylan a metalhead? I don't know. And if I start playing anything from Gloryhammer now, this stream will probably get a copyright strike. I'm paying for this music which you listen to right now. What do you play? Let's just make a small detour into another section of my hobby and stay in astrophotography. Recently I've played Genshin Impact. I've played Escape from Tarkov with my friends. And we've playing a lot of Phasmophobia recently. Alright, can we move on anymore? Will you do a live video showing... Will you do a live stream showing live video of the moon? My backyard down there, moon over there? No, I'm sorry. Well, let's do this again. Well, I will go on with this stream for maybe half an hour more. I still want to have my evening. What am I thinking about right now? Pixel math. Next song, please. CBG... No, not this one. Did I just close the image I wanted to edit? Did I just close the image I wanted to edit? I'm so dumb. And now I unplugged all of my... Can you still hear me? Yes, the mic is still peaking. and just close the image I want to edit. Well, that's it for the hard nebula for this night. But maybe... I have an idea. Thank you for regularly connecting with your fans. That's the best, that's the only thing I can do basically. I put out videos, I talk to you, and I think I get way too much back for the work I put into this. Should I buy an EQ5 Pro mount and a Skywatcher? What's 150 PDS? What's that? A Newtonian, I see. PixInsight is loading the background. Hang on. Alright, this was the over edit. Wait. This was the over edit. This one. Yes, you can go for that. It's great for visual, for astrophotography. You will need more equipment otherwise. A flattener, maybe a small guider, because these focal lengths are big. Are you planning the Radiant Right Ultra Quad Band? Is there a 1.25 inch version of the quad band? Really? I haven't seen one yet. If yes, I will go for it. This song in the background, I love this song. There is... Oh. You know, I recently made a video about cheap astronomy equipment and that a filter adapter can save you a lot of money. What the hell did I mean by save you a lot of money? Jesus. How do you polar align? Wait, I don't want to skip questions. The most difficult deep sky object to capture, there are so many out there. The most difficult deep sky object is the one you want to image perfectly. Anything. Hello Astro Exploring, welcome to the stream. Goodbye, Astro Canuck. Get set up for tonight. Yes, I will maybe tune into your stream after this one. That's cheaper than the 2-inch version. Yes, it is cheaper, because the 2-inch version is only 1,100 bucks. You bought a 10-inch Dobson. Awesome. I looked through a Dobson once and they are great telescopes for visual, really. In about a year, I didn't even read that, in about a month. Alright. How do you polar align? Visual or computerized? I computerized polar align? No, I polar align computerized. With the QHY Pole Master on my HQ5. Will you capture the witch head in Orion? The witch head nebula, I believe it's called, in Orion? Not this year. This year's focus lies on the Orion Nebula. I have planned an awesome imaging sequence on it, and I want these clear nights, everything on the nebula. Alright, hang on. Is there anything changing? Alright. Well, compare this before and after. Look at this. Before and after editing. See you later. Goodbye. The LiveStream is amazing for 400 bucks. This filter I used for this image is close to the LiveStream. What's the point of buying a tri or quad band filter? Does it save your time? Yes, it does. The point is, you have broadband and narrowband imaging. How should I put this? If you want to image an object in the night and have an image ready in the next morning, a color image RGB. There's one option. Go for a color camera and a light pollution filter. A broadband filter because you want the colors. But if your light pollution is strong, you can shoot the emission lines of nebulae all in one filter and maybe just 3 and 4 peaks, tri or quad band. And you will be able to get an almost narrowband result with a color camera in one shot. Not as good as with the mono equipment, but it's amazing. Hello Dog, oh, welcome back. Is there any free post-processing software dedicated for astro image processing? Yes, there is. Is Serial... wait. Yes, there is. It's called Serial. This one. I did not look into it yet. You will have to search somewhere else for advice on the software. The best image stacking software for Mac, Deep Sky Stacker. It will get your images that are very comparable with PixInsight. Does the grind rise high enough for you this time of year? It does, but I don't have much time in one night. I will need multiple nights. The Shark Nebula. What the hell is the Shark Nebula? I've never heard of that before. Is it the Dark Shark Nebula? You should stream more often. Well, do you think so? Well, alright, I know this one, I just didn't know that it was called in this way. Well, these dark nebulae are science in and for itself. I have no idea how to get good images of dark nebulae. It doesn't even show up in the Deep Sky survey. What's the forecast for Germany this week? Imagine clear being green and cloudy being red. It's a fire truck. Alright people, let me go. Fire truck, yes. I will leave this music on there. As you can see, I have to drink a lot of water these days. I am in quarantine for a reason. It's clear at your place, Germany too? That's what I would call clear. How the hell did the forecast not say this? And now I'm wasting clear night. But the reason I wanted to say this, I have to go to the toilet real quick. No, not this one. Give me a few minutes, hang on. Who else loves this channel? Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Where did I leave the chat? I'm from Albania, if you've ever heard of that. Yes, of course I have. It's not like we're living in Texas, where some people think that Europe is a country. Please make a video on barn door trackers. What? Is the Radiant Ride Ultra worth it? Wait. Okay. Is the Radiant Ride Ultra worth it? I believe so. If you want to get the best out of your dedicated color camera. Changing weather with this hobby is always bad. I only go to sleep while the telescope is outside if I am sure that no clouds are coming anywhere close. Well, what else can we do this night? I only want to go maybe for 20 minutes more. The hard this was of course not an editing video of the Hard Nebula, but you saw at least some of the processing before I closed this image because I'm bad at everything. So no need to use other filters with the Radian. It depends. I don't think the Radian will perform as good on galaxies, especially not Andromeda, but nebulae targets are awesome with the Radian filter. It's made for that. It's narrowband filter. Narrowband means nebula. ZW ASI 224 versus 290, both color. There are versions that are like this. I only have the 294. Well, the names are just different by the sensor which is used. Well, I sadly can't tell you about the 224 or the 290, but maybe also consider the 294 MC Pro. And the Pro version if you want to go long exposure deep sky. Would you choose 800 or 1600 ISO for Orion? 800 10-second exposures, get the core down, and then 800 3 minutes, the outer nebulosity. Have you considered sharing a general workflow on PixInsight? Yes, I have considered it, and I have a 6-part series on it on this channel. Check it out. And this goes very deep into my processing. Lassie, hello. What is your mobile travel gear setup? This stuff, well, the mobile travel gear is literally mobile going outside the house with a backpack. I don't have mobile equipment which I carry around on star parties. I bring everything. What's the first nebula you ever imaged? This one. Of course not this image exactly, but the Hard Nebula. The first try. The first try was awful. The first nebula, and it was the first image I've ever taken of something in space. Aside from the moon, but that's a different story. What do you think the minimum price for a decent telescope? I don't know how many people define decent. If I now hear decent, I think about minimum $800. But decent for a beginner in astroimaging, decent I think about 400. Any free post-processing software other than Serial for astro image processing? Maybe someone else can answer your question, because I certainly can't. I'm sorry. Can you keep a telescope mounted? Or do you tear it down for the winter season? I always tear my telescope down because my parents need the backyard during the day. But now I forgot what I want to say. I'm sorry. What is the most reliable mount for astrophotography? The Skywatcher HEQ6? You mean there is no HEQ6? Do you mean the HEQ5 or the EQ6R Pro? And I don't think that there is anything comparable to the EQ6R Pro in the price range. Are you onto planetary photography? I am in deep sky, I'm not in planetary. You need way too big scopes for planetary. Deep sky, small telescopes. Many people think that you would need gigantic telescopes to see something like this, but this was such a telescope this big. What's the best stacking software for DSLR and lens? DSS. EQ6R Pro. That's an awesome mount, no doubt. Why don't you buy a 10 or 8 inch Dobsonian? Because I want to photograph. I just want to... I really like to look at these targets, but if I look at an awesome target, I want to show the others. I want to show everybody around me how awesome these things are in space. And I can't do that with a Dobsonian. How much did your telescope cost? If you mean telescope, just the tube, the OTA, the optical tube assembly, the first one was straight $1,000, the big refractor, and the small one up there, let me get it real quick. Jesus, this is the rock playlist, really? Just need to check real quick. 38 people, not bad. What was I talking about? The price of the telescope. The big refractor was $1,000. And this one, just the refractor. So, just this part, $1,100. Without the camera, again $1,000. Without the guide camera, 200, 150, 30, and much more. So this telescope is the telescope that shot this image right here. The Dobsonians are cheap and cool, yes, but I can't see anything in this light pollution over here anyways, and I want to show the others. Is it possible to capture deep sky images with a smartphone camera? So you have a telescope. How should I say this? To take an image you need a sensor and glass elements. So you have a telescope that is a glass element, and with a DSLR you have a sensor. Great. And then you have... What's up with this music today? And then you have the telescope, the glass elements with maybe 350 millimeters, and then the smartphone with 6 millimeters focal length. And then a sensor that is the size of my fingernail. No. Get a DSLR. I'm not a fan of smartphones for this hobby. It's just... Smartphones for astrophotography. The least glass you can put in there, the better. 3 lenses, nothing more. And a smartphone is made of so many messy parts, it can't be good. And a smartphone does the editing for you, no matter what you want to do, even if you get the image out in a raw file. The editing applied from a smartphone, no way. Do you know a good tracking mount for beginners? Do you mean a go-to tracking mount like the HQ5, or maybe a star tracker on which you plug a camera, which you polar align, and then it tracks the stars for a couple amount of time? Because then I'd recommend the Skywatcher Star Adventurer, or even more low cost but also low performance, maybe a mechanical tracker. I can't screw it on right now. What's the best eyepiece for deep sky viewing with an apo refractor? I don't know. I don't know anything about eyepieces. If a viewer were to request you to process their data, would you do it? I have done it before, yes. The thing is, there are so many different combinations of telescopes and cameras. I have personally gotten into processing my data from my configuration. Getting other configurations in there could be... I could bump into the first problem and don't know how to solve it. That's why I really rarely do it. Is there a temperature that is too cold for astrophotography? No. Anything above 0 Kelvin? Yes, go for it. Whoa, I missed a lot of questions. Hang on. Don't add up the cost of your setup, it's crazy. I would land maybe around the $5,000 range right now. EQ6R Pro, 6-inch SCT, Canon 6D, guiding APT. What object would you recommend? I try to start off with 6-inch SCT. Let me take a look at the telescope real quick. You should start out with Boat's Galaxy M81 or 82. Or go for a close-up on the core of the Orion Nebula, of course, that's always possible. Smartphone doesn't give RAW, yes it does, mine does at least. But it's not RAW as from the same RAW as from a DSLR. Best eyepiece to use with an APO? I don't know. I don't have eyepieces. A star tracker? Yeah, alright, the star tracker question. I will list a few and you will go through them. From low performance, low price to better performance, higher price. Omegon Mini Track LX2, Skywatcher Star Adventurer, iOptron Sky Tracker, and iOptron Sky Guider Pro. Is that the Omegon? Which one are you referring to? Gotta run, thanks for your time. See ya. What streaming software are you using? It's working very well. OBS. Galaxies on Nebula, you have to be a bit more precise with your questions. Best color CCD camera for a beginner? Wait, CCD. I don't know if you're confusing CCD with CMOS right now, or CCD with dedicated cameras. I don't know anything about CCD cameras. The one behind you, is that the Omegon? Yes, this is the Omegon mini track. And you can take awesome exposures with it, up to 300 millimeters, 2 minutes, I'd say, maximum. Do you have any postal address where I can send you stuff or gear so we can help you getting a better gear? I don't have that, but I can't talk. I really need to finish this stream. I'm getting too tired. Of course I have a postal address, but please don't send me gear. But if you want to support me in any way, I have a Patreon account. And with the last videos of Andromeda and the Hard Nebula, I've gotten so many more Patrons. Thank you so much if any of you are watching right now. It's crazy how many people want to support me, so check that out if you want to do that. And thank you for everyone supporting me and watching right now. The Orion EQ3, hang on, let's take a look. Wait. That's not even a tracking mount, is it? Well, it's not a tracking mount. What's the question you are asking? What do you think about the Orion? Well, that's for visual, not for astrophotography. It can come with a motor drive. Well, if you want to use it for astrophotography, auto guiding will improve many things. I'm a donate on Patreon. Thank you. Is an ES Explore Scientific 13600 EQ3 reflector worth for DSO? Yes, it is. Consider some more gear, maybe a field flattener or anything, and all the things around it, cables, the camera of course, auto guiding, all the things you have to consider if you want to go for DSO for longer exposures. But yes, the combination you are saying here is a good starting point. What targets are the best without auto guiding? I bet all the Messier objects are good, maybe not the dimmer galaxies, but anything else? Anything other than Messier objects without auto guiding? Let me think. The brighter Messier objects, even most of the Messiers will not be able to get a good image of without auto guiding. Good evening from cloudy London, UK. Hello, Corin. Star clusters? No. If you want, with star clusters, you want the clean, sharp stars, which you can hardly get without auto guiding. But back to your question, Andromeda Galaxy, the Pleiades, Orion Nebula, and that's about it. But if you are searching for videos about untracked and unguided astroimaging, check out Nebula Photos. The dude has way more subscribers than me, you probably know him. I've done the North America all untracked at 55. Sounds great. 55 can be done. They should have renamed this playlist to heavy metal playlist, not rock. Is there anything other in music I can play here? Well, I wanted to get to the end of this stream anyways. I've been streaming for 2 hours. Alright, if you have any last questions that are really pressing on you right now, ask them now, because this stream will not go much longer. 5 minutes maybe. I hope you have been able to catch up on some of the processing of the Hard Nebula. If you've just been tuning in right now, this was not the full edit I made in this stream. I accidentally deleted the image in here as I was halfway through, but you can watch it again in the replay on YouTube. I will make that public as soon as I can. Favorite nebula? Nebula. Orion. I'm gonna tag you on Instagram when I'm done with the California. Yes, do it. Do modded DSLRs make a difference? Yes, they do. Because imagine you take an image with an unmodded DSLR and you see a nebula in there. Now imagine the nebula would be 4 times stronger. That's unmodded. Because the IR cut filter cuts out up to 25%. You get 25% of the signal from the nebula. Does sampling depend on camera scope? It depends on camera pixel size and scope focal length. And is there a way to find undersampling in existing gear? What do you mean find? Find? Fix? No, it's the configuration, the ratio of pixel size to focal length. If your images are undersampled, you first need to learn how to dither. So get dithering running, dither or die as they say, and use drizzling on your post-processing. This way you can make up for undersampling in the image. Even this image is undersampled a tiny bit, not that much, but a tiny bit. And if you want to find out if your images or how badly your images are undersampled, go for the Bintel Astronomy calculator. The website is always slowly loading. This website can tell you if your gear is undersampled. What is your favorite deep sky nebula and galaxy? Nebula, the Orion Nebula, and galaxy, the Whirlpool Galaxy. Do you know any light pollution filter for LED streetlights? Yes, there are LED filters. Just Google them. There are not that many of them right now, but they cut out some of LED, but LEDs are really hard to find. Alright. Hello Juju Bean, you came in just at the wrong time. I just wanted to finish the stream in a few minutes. So, alright, look at this one. Explaining sampling. And so many questions, I can hardly stop the stream. 10 times 5 minutes or 50 times 1? 10 times 5. Way better. Actually, go maybe for 30 times 5. Alright, sampling. If you look into... How should I explain this? Your camera, the sensor of your camera is made out of many millions of pixels. And these pixels have a size of maybe 3 to 4 micrometers. And if you have a wide focal length, alright, how should I put this? A pixel size of 4 micrometers is average, but if you compare that with a short focal length telescope, the stars in the image will span only a few pixels. Let me show you what I mean. This image right here is called undersampled. A small star is made out of just this amount of pixels. 18, 25, not that good, because you want to resolve your object as best you can. And undersampling means that your image is too sharp, and the detail is not smooth as you might want it to be. Slightly undersampled, not that bad. This image is slightly undersampled. I did not drizzle it, but it can look awesome. On the other hand, if you pair big pixels with short focal lengths, the stars will be almost 1 pixel wide. There's nothing good that can come out of that. If you want to fight undersampling, get different gear or drizzle and dither in your post-processing. And on the other hand, oversampling, if you use a big focal length and small pixels in the camera, a star will span hundreds of pixels and the image will look very soft without much detail. This can be corrected in post-processing with sharpening. But oversampling is not that bad, is not as bad as undersampling. Undersampling is good and the optimum proper sampling is great. How long of subs should I use at f2 unfiltered? That's always a tricky question. If you have a deep sky setup and not a portable DSLR setup, make them as long as you can before the background saturates. So push the histogram as far to the right as you can, without clipping too much of data. When will a live stream again? I don't know. The university is stressing out a lot right now. Does the calculator calculate for crop factor? Because with crop factor focal length it says that the crop factor has... Wait, it says that it's well sampled in that case? The crop factor has nothing to do with the sampling. Think about it, the crop factor just crops into your image, which then looks as it has more focal length, but it doesn't actually. It's only cropped in. So if you crop it in or not, the pixels and the stars will not change at all. I had to go to school, so I couldn't join the live stream earlier. Well, I can't stream on any other times than around maybe by 6 or 8 in the afternoon. Binning can change it. Yes, it can. But unless you have a dedicated camera, you can't use binning. The easiest and hardest object image. The easiest maybe in the Pleiades, I'd say. The hardest objects, there are so many. Our universe is so big. What are you studying? I'm studying optronics and machine vision, which is almost perfect studies except from astronomy, which I could do for this hobby. Hardest is IFN. Well, and if anyone knows what IFN means, they get a medal from me. And I agree, yes. Integrated Flux Nebula. Alright, people, this has been an awesome stream. Again, as I thought, I answered more questions. I loved it. Then I could edit any images. But I will now leave the stream and go on playing some more video games. I will work on more videos. I will always stay focused for astrophotography. And I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night wherever you are. And this stream will be over now. So should I do my regular outro or not? Just giving the people your time to maybe say goodbye if you want to. Another good one, thank you. I will stream in the future again, maybe in 2 weeks apart from each other. Alright, thank you everybody so much for watching. And as for me, my name is Tim, I'm an AstroAddict. I wish you clear skies, and may the night be with us. And now, this awkward moment until the stream stops. And the stream will stop if I click on this button right now. See you everybody, may the night be with us.